The fear, uncertainty, and doubt is ramping up leading up to Xbox's E3, and we got some regarding Bethesda and employees leaving, but is it true? Let's look into it. So as we get closer to E3, we're about 2 weeks away now. There's going to be a lot of stuff I think that comes out, just trying to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt when it comes to Xbox and their E3 showcase. And one of the reasons for that is because these next 2 weeks, I said this on my podcast, there's going to be very little news. I don't think anybody's going to want to put out anything major leading up to the show because they want that show to be the main spotlight where we get a tons of awesome news to talk about for weeks to come. So we're going to see more stuff like this. And right now, what came out yesterday when I was going through Twitter, just looking through the news, looking through my feed, was everybody was talking about this rumor that people are leaving Bethesda because Microsoft is changing the culture quickly. Obviously, they just got them about 3 months ago. And this is according to Tyler McVicker. Now, I'll show you what he said, but I'll be completely honest. I have never heard of Tyler McVicker before. This is the first time I've heard of this YouTuber. So I don't know his credibility. I don't know what he is about, what he reports on. But let me know in the comments below if you have any experience with Tyler McVicker and just kind of the stuff that he generally likes to talk about.
What's going on is people are leaving Bethesda Studios after Microsoft, joined, bottom out. A lot of really long-term Bethesda Game Studios employees and software employees, Arcane employees, Machine Games employees, they're just leaving. And that's slightly upsetting, but I also understand it. I was able to get an off-the-record quote from a few of them saying it's because the new corporate entity that owns it all has really changed the culture quite quickly.
So there you have it. What he is saying is that people are leaving Bethesda because Microsoft took over and within those 3 months has completely changed the culture. Now, after this came out, a lot of people were saying that it was false, it was untrue, and that Tyler McVicker was wrong about this. Jess Corden saying the people are leaving Bethesda because Microsoft destroyed their culture in just 3 months. Story going around is pure fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that's a key point right there. Bethesda only joined Microsoft 3 months ago, like officially. To think that they have been able to just completely destroy the culture in 3 months, that people are leaving in droves, is absolutely absurd. And he's saying this is coming from an off-the-record source, which when anything is off the record and there's no direct link to the source, you really have to immediately question whether there is any validity to it. Then you have here Mr. Matty Play saying flat out untrue. We go down some more. We got Tim Dog saying actual employee of Bethesda calling out Vickers bullshit. And this is what the employee is saying. No one's leaving. Every contractor is still here. Some people retired, but I'm not sure where you are getting your info from. Then he continues on saying, I've been working with them for a little over 2 years. Now people come and go all the time. A few people permanently retired, but not a lot of people are leaving at all. And he was responding to a tweet that Special Ed put out referring to and quoting what Tyler McVicker said. So you guys can take this for what you will. You can believe it if you want. You can think it's a lie if you want. I personally don't believe that it is true. It just doesn't make sense that in that short span of time, Microsoft has been able to completely destroy the culture, and that this quote is coming from an unnamed source off the record as well makes it more suspect to me. But what I think is going on here is, like I said, there's going to be very little news for these next 2 weeks until E3 hits, right? Until June 10th with Summer Games Fest or whatever it's called. So people are going to need to get views. People are going to need to get clicks. So they're going to put stuff out there like this in order to get those views and clicks and to get people talking about it. But I agree, it's just fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Now, all of this is going to be squashed, I think, if Xbox does very well at E3. And I talked about this in my podcast this week. They've got to do 3 major things at this year's E3 to get rid of any of these negative narratives. The first thing they need to do is show off games coming this year. So Halo Infinite, and then potentially whatever that second game is, Forza Horizon 5, because that is the major rumored one. We know Psychonauts is coming as well, so they got to show that off. That's coming to Xbox Game Pass. And they need to potentially, if they have another one coming out this year, make that a big announcement for the event. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a third or fourth big game coming out in 2021. I personally think that Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5 is more than enough for the span of the holiday season to get people excited to want to pick up an Xbox console. But one thing that keeps coming into my head is what Jason Ronald said on the Iron Lords podcast, where he said the game he's most excited for in 2021 is one that hasn't been announced yet. Now, he could have been referring to Forza Horizon 5, but for some reason I just think maybe there is something else. Either way, they need to show off Halo Infinite, and they need to show off another big game coming out this year. Secondly, they need to give us kind of a roadmap and an outlook for games that have been announced and what we can expect, and hopefully some gameplay for some of these games. One of the biggest thing right now with Xbox is that there are no first party games, and all we have are promises of these games to come in the future. And I think honestly that's completely okay right now, because as a logical person, you sit back and you think about how long it takes to make a major AAA game, and generally it's what, like 5 years or so, 3 to 5 years. I guess it really depends on the game and the developer, but we are just beginning seeing Xbox Game Studios with all of these studios under that one name. So once they start rolling, we're going to be getting first party AAA games on a very consistent basis, and it's not going to stop. But until that happens, people are going to continue this narrative that Xbox has no games. So I think they have to give us that kind of roadmap and outlook as to what is to come for Xbox, so that we can continue to just be excited waiting for those future games that are coming out in the future, while we still play everything that's on Xbox Game Pass, and while we still play the games releasing in holiday 2021. And then thirdly, they need to give us more information and give us more games coming onto Xbox Game Pass, third-party stuff, and just stuff to look forward to. More stuff with backwards compatibility and FPS boost, stuff that we can jump into right away while we wait for the holiday season and while we wait to play Halo Infinite. And I think if they do those things, they're really going to knock E3 out of the park. I have no doubt that Xbox is going to have a great show. I think they are going to knock it out of the park, and I'm extremely excited for it. But I think more stuff like this in these next 2 weeks is going to creep up to the surface, because there's no news right now. There's not going to be any big news stories for these next 2 weeks with Xbox. We're hearing stuff about like the Nintendo Switch Pro and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into those other consoles, there will be stuff. But with Xbox, I don't think there's going to be anything major coming out anytime soon. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know if you think these rumors are true. Let me know how excited you are for E3 and what you want to see at that show. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you like what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow, help grow this community, so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support. I'll catch you in the next video.